everybody, it's Jen here, and this is my first layout as a design team member for Layout a Week blog. I'll have links to this below. And this month we were challenged to do something Eastery or pastel colors. Now these colors are a little bit stronger than pastel, but that inspiration piece that I showed you right at the very beginning, and I'll show you again in a little bit, was from an Easter gift card that I saw at Starbucks. And it immediately gave me the idea that what I wanted to do was show you that you can take inspiration for scrapbooking or crafting from just about anywhere, including the checkout at Starbucks. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using these beautiful papers in the Wildflower collection to make that variated look. I was going to use paint for it, and I actually did try a few different things, and I just wasn't getting that sort of vibrant color that I wanted, and so I switched it up and decided to use these papers instead. So that you're not watching me painfully glue everything down, I'm edited out quite a bit of stuff for you just to make it a little bit easier, but wanted to show you these steps. So here I'm going to glue all these down, and you can see my little tappity tap. That's usually me thinking. When I come back from this, you're going to see I move things around just a little bit, just because I thought it looked a little bit more pleasing to the eye. But all I've done is gone away and stuck them down. So there's that inspiration piece again. So I'm just showing you the colors, and there you go. So I took out just one paper because it just was a bit too harsh. So there's the photo I'm going to use, and then I'm going to use these die cuts all around the edge. So I'm just showing you there how there had been those white cutout Easter eggs, and I'm using these pretty floral cutouts to mimic that look. So I've used the strips of paper in the background for the color, and then now I'm using these to mimic that look all around the edge. So I'm going to do the same as on that gift card. I'm going to leave the far right edge open a bit, and my title's going to go over there, and I'm going to do just a little bit of embellishing on this one because I felt like it was enough. You know, with all the color and all the pattern paper in the background, and then all of the die cut around the edge, I just thought that was enough, and I really wanted to keep it simple so your eye is drawn into that photo, which I think is totally adorable, of course, because that is my niece, who was just born, and I got to go and see her, and this is one of the very first photos of her, and just so happened her sleeper matched this idea perfectly, so I didn't have to look very far for a photo for this. So I just sticking one down, and then I edited out me sticking all the rest down and cutting the edges off, but that's pretty much all I did. And now you can see it really does mimic that inspiration piece pretty well. So here I left a white border on my photo, and I was going to put it just on some vellum, and I thought it just needed just a little bit more to help it stand out from that really busy background. So here you can see I've pulled in more vellum, but this has some tiny gold hearts on it. And on that inspiration piece, the Happy Easter that's on the card is in gold. So I'm going to pull in gold thickers for my title, and then I'm using this just with a little bit of pretty subtle gold on this vellum, and I think it just helps pop it up just a little bit from the background. And then I found too with all the swirls and sort of soft edges on the die cut, I liked the contrast with that square photo. I think it really makes it pop out. So here you can see I've pulled out these gold thickers. These are the ones that came with or went with the Chamel collection, her first collection, not the one that's coming out soon. And they're nice and tall and skinny, which is awesome because I'm going to spell out Easter gift in a pretty small amount of space, which is fantastic. And then I'm going to use some tan thickers in a different font. I like to mix my fonts, like with a nice square font and then sort of a more scrolly, scripty type font. I just like how that looks. So these aren't actually gold, but they're a light tan, and I thought that worked okay. And you could always go over the top of these with some sort of glitter too if you wanted to, but I thought it worked just a-okay. And here I've put them on some wax paper, which is a trick I've seen lots of people do, in trying to just line it up exactly how I want. What I want to do is have a little bit of that title overlapping onto the photo, just to pull it together. Sorry, just gonna have a sip of water here. Yeah, so I just came back from visiting and helping out my brother and his family when they've had this little girl, and it's really dry where they live. And I found I've only been back a day or two, or I guess 2 days now, and I'm still super dry. But totally worth it in order to get to hold her literally less than 24 hours after she was born. And I got to see my other niece, who is just turned 2 in February, and who I haven't seen for a long time. So the last time I actually saw her in person, she wasn't even walking yet. So now she's walking and talking and expressing all of her thoughts, which is fantastic, because I just love that age. You can just kind of hear their little brains working. So here I'm just pulling up that early, so this title reads Early Easter Gift, and I was putting it so that the Y was going in between the 2 words, and then I decided to move it over. I just like how that looked, and I also was thinking then I could use the space in front of early for a little bit of embellishing. And I'm going to keep the embellishing on this really light, as I mentioned before, because I think there is more than enough going on this layout already, and if I just start piling embellishments on, I think the whole purpose of this layout, which is to highlight this photo, I think it gets lost. So here's the sticker sheet that came with this collection, and there's some little arrows on there that match, and you can, I'm just thinking that's what I'm doing there. And I've pulled out that little label, and I'm going to use that just to write her name on here, because there'll be many layouts, so I didn't feel like I needed to do too much. So just her name's going to go on here and the date that she was born. You'll see that in a minute. And then here's the little arrows, and I just pulled out some of the colors, and I did them sort of in the order that they are on the layout, the blue, the green, and the purple. And I just really like how that looks and they stand out. And then I decided to pull in a little bit of a floral just in the top here underneath. And this floral I'm actually going to pull back up again and grab another one that was just a little bit lighter. It's actually a little bit bigger, but the flowers aren't quite so big on it, and the leaves aren't quite so dark. You'll see in a second here. So I was tucking that, and that actually looks quite nice just like that, looking at it on the video, but it just wasn't quite what I was wanting. So you'll see here, I'm going to pull this up, and I hadn't stuck it down too hard, so it was easy to get up. So here you'll see it kind of stretches a bit. Everything's a little bit tinier, even though it goes farther out from the edges of the photo. I think that's what I was looking for. And then I'm just going to move the placement of that label over to the side here. And it's actually covering up something on that sticker that I didn't want, some wording that I didn't want. And then now I'm thinking I definitely need one more thing up in that corner, and I'm just trying to decide what that's going to be. So I was looking at stickers, I just didn't want another sticker. I wanted something else rather than everything being sort of the same flat. So I went away, grabbed some ribbon, and then I've made this pretty little bow that's a pretty close match to part of this layout, and I just thought that was kind of pretty. That's one of my favorite colors, that sort of bluey, tealy green. So I think that looks really pretty up there. So of course, if you've ever watched any of my videos before, I am almost incapable of not putting some gold color shine on. So there it goes. It's really subtle on this page because the background is darker, and I tried not to get it on any of the die cut because I really wanted that white to stay white. But it was just a little extra bit that I have to put on all my layouts. And now I'm just putting her name on here, and I'm not going to do any other journaling at all, other than I'm going to grab a date stamp, and I'm going to put that on here as well. So here I have the Heidi Swap date stamp. You're going to see this is going to take me forever, so apologies. I'm just looking up to make sure I have her birthday right, because I knew it was the Wednesday, and I wanted to make sure that I had the right date on there. And then I find that date stamp, it's really hard to read because it's Heidi's script handwriting for the month, so I was having a really hard time finding the right month. So here I'm just looking it up, I'm still fiddling just off camera with that, and now I'm just grabbing some ink. And that's just a little scrap piece of paper from cards that I was doing another day, and I'm going to just use that to stamp this off and make sure that I like it, and I'm not making a big mess with this ink. So now I'm just deciding where do I want it, and I'm going to go right back to the first thought. But, you know, shop it around first. Don't we always second guess ourselves? So put that down once, and then I'm thinking about it, and I decide I'm going to just stamp it off, and I kind of like how that looks. There we go. So I think I am done, and I'm going to leave it on regular speed and do a quick show, and then there's some still photos at the end. So thanks so much for watching. Please check out the blog and let us know what you think. Talk to you later. Bye now.